My dad was a guitar player, or a wannabe guitar player. So yeah, I grew up with him playing, and my older brother also played. So it was the house of guitar players. I'd been playing classical guitar at school, and I got into the level where I knew I could be a guitarist, and it was what I wanted to do, but didn't really feel any affiliation with the music. So it was Stevie, really. My dad gave me a Vaughan DVD, and I made the jump to electric. And I think coming from the classical world, it was just coming from that sort of very disciplined world, you know, and getting into Stevie and the blues through him. It really showed that, you know, within the blues format, you could really kind of do what you wanted, you know, and inject your own personality into it. So I kind of liked that transition, I suppose. Also, when I started playing blues, I really, other than Stevie, I really got into Albert Collins, who was another guy that kind of had started out with that country blues technique and then played electric. And so, you know, he'd predominantly play the bass strings with his thumb and then do this with, or whatever. So I think when I started playing switch from the classical, you know, I knew, you know, having seen him, that it was okay to use your fingers. But yeah, so I think I definitely incorporated a bit of, because it was just easier, you know, after spending 5 years playing with my fingers to adjusting to this thing, it was, you know. And I'm all for taking shortcuts and... This is an Albert Collins signature model, which I always wanted. This was a gift to me from Joe Bonamassa, which we were shopping once in New York, and he was helping me find a Albert Collins signature model, and we found one, and he got a really good price on it, and he kept it for himself. And then he very kindly gifted me one a few years later. And it's pretty much my main, other than I've got a 1966 Esquire, which I don't really travel with too much anymore because it's been damaged on flights a lot. But other than that, this is probably my main guitar. I've switched to Les Pauls a lot in the last few years. I think I just kind of needed to freshen up my playing. I needed a different tone to kind of force me out of the bad habits. But I've kind of come back to Tellys in recent years. It's definitely my guitar. It kind of fits, you know, and the tone as well. Most of my Tellys, I like the humbucker single coil. Just, you know, because the bridge pickup's so bright anyway, which is where I, you know, do most of my leads. It's kind of nice to have that warmer for rhythm. So it's a nice little combination for me. It works well. This is a new pedal board to me. I just built it for this tour, and I've been trying to strip down a bit because I like pedals for like the studio and different tones, but live, I like to keep things quite simple, and frankly, it's less to think about. So, 2 tube screamers, the 808, one for lead kind of sound, or lead rhythm. And then I'll hit one for a solo boost. Super trem, which is kind of new to me, but I've come back to it a bit over the years, but it's kind of my favourite stock kind of tremolo, which I mostly use for certain rhythm songs. I don't use it too much lead. But yeah, it just adds another nice texture, particularly to rhythm, you know, for trying to fake a Leslie sound. And short of dragging a Leslie cabinet around with you. You know, if you're looking for a pedal option, that's probably one of my favourites. Standard Boss digital reverb delay, because most of the amps I usually travel with super reverbs. I mix my amps up a lot, usually Fenders, Vibra Kings, super reverbs. I'm using a lot of Magnetones of late, so, you know, just in case I don't have the reverb option. And then G-Lab, smooth delay. So just kind of for more drawn-out guitar solos where you want a bit more atmosphere, I like having a nice long delay to go to. So it's pretty, you know, pretty basic, but it does everything I need. And My kind of theory is pedals are great and they are fun toys. And, you know, you must know as much as anyone, there are so many out there now and they all look great. And, you know, it's particularly for a female, since I don't have a handbag fetish, you know, I can spend money on fancy looking guitar pedals all day long. But how much do I really need when I'm up there? You know, we're a 3-piece or 4-piece rock blues band, you know, so I'm trying to get away from the bells and whistles. And also, I am that kind of guitar player where, whether I'm playing a Tele or a Les Paul, I still sound very similar. You know, it is very much in my bad technique hands, you know, and split fingers and stuff. So it's really just kind of, you're just masking, you know, the good stuff that's there, I think, a lot of the time. But